everyone, I'm Serena Pizan, and you are watching CEO 360. We are here at Feeding Tampa Bay, along with the CEO of Feeding Tampa Bay, Thomas Mance. Thomas, so good to see you.
Yeah, we're great. We're really happy to be doing this with you. Thanks for kind of spotlighting the work we do and more importantly, the people we serve.
Well, talk about spotlighting. This is fabulous.
Right.
This is the Publix community market.
Right.
And I want to point out, though, it's not just Publix.
No.
With all the food, right? It's, I mean, you have so
Publix
many...
made this area, this shopping area possible, but one of the great things about the work that we do is all of the companies that support us, all of the grocers, all the manufacturers, all the farmers, they all have the same concern and consideration, which is how do we make sure that our neighbors are fed, right? And so our model was built on the idea that there is excess food available. And sometimes it's not quite ready for retail, right? But it's perfectly good for our clients. So as you can see, we have someone that might come through and they can grab a delicious salad package like this. You might not buy this because it's got a little dent in it, but it's still perfectly good, sealed. And the families that we serve, this is great product for them to get.
Absolutely. And then I see there's like frozen food, and as you pointed out, the fresh food.
Sure.
So Thomas, so many people have food insecurity,
Yes.
right? And people we wouldn't think about.
Sure.
There's no age limit.
Correct.
So who comes into this market?
Well, one of the things we, first, you know, who comes into this market? Our friends and neighbors. One of the things that we would say to the community if we could have this conversation would be that we're not serving them, we're serving us. We're serving people that we work alongside. We're serving people that we may get services from, that might take care of our lawn or take care of our hair. We've had school teachers in here. We have had professional folks that provide professional services, police, firemen. We have had folks that have served in the military. All of those folks experience food insecurity. So we always want to make sure people understand that this isn't a grocery store or a free market for them. It's a free market for our friends, neighbors in our community.
For all of us.
And that's why it's called the Publix Community Market.
Why do you think so many people get embarrassed or ashamed when they need help, especially when it comes to food? And how do you, especially as the CEO here, share the message that don't be embarrassed?
Yeah. Well, I think you're asking a couple of really important questions there. I think one, no one ever gets up and says, I would like my day to be filled with standing in a food line, right? Nobody, and it's a question we often get asked. People have the perception that somehow folks are taking advantage of the system. We have never run across that. The people that we're privileged to serve are hardworking, they care. They simply have had circumstances that have caused them to need us. And so our concern at that moment is making sure that our neighbors have a good shopping experience, which leads to the second part of your question. One of the reasons why this market is important as you look around and you see all the food here is that what's important to you as a human, as a family member, is buying items for your household to prepare meals that are important to you, to your family, to your culture, right? So do you do the shopping?
I do the shopping.
And so how careful are you about selecting items that matter to your family?
I love that question because I am so selective. It's giving me goosebumps right now just talking about it.
If you're someone who's food insecure and you lose that choice, what happens?
I know.
We want to return that choice, and that's what the market is about, because we know that people that select their own food feel much better about themselves. They can preserve recipes that are in their family that matter to them. They can cook meals that their family enjoys. That's what this is about. It's not just about food, it's also about dignity.
You know, I was talking to the manager of the community market, and he said already 90 appointments within like 2 hours. So how many families, how many people do you have come through here?
So in the area that Feeding Tampa Bay serves, there's about 1 million folks who are considered economically unstable or food insecure. 1 million people. So think about it.
1 million people.
We cover a 10-county area, right? So it's a pretty big swath of property. But in that area, there are about 5 million folks who are considered, or 5 million folks in population, and about 1 million who are considered economically unstable. Any number of them may come to see us for a variety of reasons. I think, Serena, to your point, the other thing that we would make, the point we would make to folks, most of the people we serve have jobs, homes, responsibilities, they're taxpayers. They just have a significant imbalance between what they earn and the cost of everything. So think about you again shopping. Your grocery costs have gone up. If you're renting or mortgage, your cost for your house has gone up.
Right?
Your gas prices have gone up. All of the families we serve, these are intense pressures on their households. Again, we want to be here to make sure that we can provide as much assistance during those crises as well as any other time.
And Thomas, as we walk around this amazing market, not only do I see fresh food, but all these great volunteers. My 15-year-old daughter is also volunteering with you guys. You have built such an enormous base. How important is that?
Well, I think so. Volunteering for us is the lifeblood of what we do. So we'll have 50,000 volunteers a year that come support us. So think about how important that is. It helps us we could not do our work without volunteers that support us. But I think the other thing that good charities do is they connect people also to the better parts of themselves, the things that matter most to you. They allow you the opportunity to do that, because all day long, all week long, you're having to deal with the challenges of life. When you walk into these doors, hopefully you have a better sense of I'm helping another human being, and that connects me to the values that I care about. There's a group of folks in here with us today that don't even live in our community. They're here out of town and they're doing a corporate retreat, but they chose to come volunteer with us because they wanted to have the opportunity to do service together. How great is that?
How great is that, and how did they find out about it?
Well, I think we work really hard, as do most of our brethren that do this work, to make sure that people know if they want to volunteer, they can come see us. And the good thing about our work is we have families, kids, even though you say 15, we take them younger, but folks can come in and it's really easy to do what we do. Within 5 to 10 minutes of landing on our property, you're already productive. So these folks are filling shelves, they're moving food. When they walk out of here today, they will have a solid sense that their efforts led directly to a neighbor eating.
Well, you know, you pointed out at the very beginning when we were in the community market that it's a wide age range. You guys help everybody, right? But it's not just the food. You do so much more. I mean, right now people are worried, of course, about their pets, medical care. Share about some of those programs.
Well, one of the things we know is that when someone comes in for food, that's not just the problem in the household, that's the thing that drew them to us. And so what we want to do when someone walks into our care is also assess, can we help with something else? So you mentioned something as simple as not only do we provide food, but we provide household products, soaps, all of those kind of things. Because again, where do you get those?
Right.
At a grocery store, and they're part of your grocery bill. So anything we can get our hands on, we do. We also provide pet food. Why do we provide pet food? Think about how many seniors have pets as companions. And what happens when a senior's income is cut? You know who they're going to feed?
The pet. Their pet, even before themselves, or take they won't even take medicine.
Correct. Right. So, and then there's the other side of it. What else do we do? So again, when someone has a variety of other needs, we try and attend to those. Not necessarily that we'll provide that service. So next door to this grocery store is a free medical services center that Baycare put up for us. And so when our clients come in to shop, if they want to get a free medical visit, they can go next door, sit down with a nurse practitioner or a nurse trainee, and get a basic health assessment to figure out if they need some other support. Because about 35% of the people we serve don't have access to health care like you or I do. So think about whether it's health care, retirement benefit services, other senior services, military services, homeless services, all of those, we can be the point of contact to direct people into those resources.
And we'd also like to give a shout out to the new CEO of Baycare, Stephanie Connors, who's been amazing. And I know you guys,
she's been to visit us, and she is.
You guys have been working together.
She is quite a find.
She is.
What a great addition to our community.
And so are you. So as we wrap up this segment, for people who may want to volunteer or people who may want to utilize the market, where's the best page to go? Best place to go?
Well, it's the same one. So we figured that part out. So most importantly, if you see this story and you have a need, go to our homepage, feedingtampabay.org, and you'll see a big button right up top that says Find Food. We want to make sure you can connect in as quickly as possible to get those resources. If you want to come volunteer, there's another button elsewhere where you can click on that and you can sign up to come volunteer and support us. And I would say about all of this, and maybe it's part of the question that you're asking, communities are better when everybody is invested in making sure their neighbors are okay. Right? As much as we have a divisiveness in our society that all of us lament, there's one easy fix. Come volunteer, support your community, do something better to make the place you live a better place to be. Right? I think all of us can agree on that, and all of us can do that.
And that is priceless.
Yeah.
Coming up in our next segment, though, Thomas Mans, we're going to ask you some questions about you because you left. You left, as we discussed at the very beginning of the show. I mean, you left a world to enter this world, and you really have made a difference.
Well, I like talking about this stuff better, but thank you.
You're welcome.